when you're trying to heal a chronic illness, you have to eliminate the immune irritants first before you start relying on supplements. Because what happens is you try to focus on these supplements without eliminating the irritants, and you'll keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. You'll keep eating the same foods. You'll keep living in a moldy house. You'll keep thinking thoughts that are threatening. You'll keep perceiving that you are unsafe in your reality and your circumstances, which will make your nervous system activated and reinforce the symptoms. You keep observing the symptoms with some problematic story of them never going away or never being able to overcome these things. This is going to be all prohibitive to your healing. You can't then fix all that with supplements and pills. It doesn't work that way, right? When you're in a chronic illness and you've been sick for a couple of years, you have to be able to eliminate the irritants first, because the mast cells are the ones that are causing these chronic illness symptoms. And the mast cells are offended by certain foods, by certain things in the air, by certain thoughts, by certain activities. And when your body gets into a chronic state of hyperreactivity, then at some point in time, you have to get rid of the irritants to calm down the mast cells. Once you calm down the mast cells, then your body will start actually accepting the supplements and start healing and start doing what it needs to overcome the illness. Because remember, the illness is caused by overactive mast cells. They're caused by a dysfunctional immune response. It's not caused by condition XYZ. It's caused by a dysfunctional immune response, specifically overactive mast cells and underdeveloped regulatory T cells, or not enough regulatory T cells in relation to helper cells. If you have both of these cells that start to balance and the inflammatory symptoms go down, you don't react so much. And this is the key to being able to overcome chronic illness. So how do you eliminate the irritants? Okay, number one, you go ahead and look at your diet. Okay, and you go through the diet and say, what am I eating the most of that fits into these categories? Am I eating too much meat? Am I eating meat twice a day? Am I eating eggs every single day? Am I having gluten every day? Am I having nuts and seeds? Am I having processed foods? Am I eating, packaged protein bars, stuff like that? Am I over-consuming protein and not enough fiber? Am I doing flavoring, additives, spices, things that are coming in packages, tons of foods that are coming in packages? Is everything that I'm consuming basically processed in some manner? These are all really good questions to define if you're being irritated by your food or not. What can you do to actually heal? You have to start off with the simple foods, the foods you know are good for you, the things like fruit, vegetables, rice, potatoes, beans, lentils, oils, salt, things like that. Diversify amongst your plants and your plant fibers. Start off slow if you don't tolerate plants that well. Gradually increase them. But the idea is you want to remove the common irritants, your eggs, dairy, nuts, seeds, gluten, processed food, too much meat, things like that. This will help you set up for success in the long term. If you get set up over the course of 2-3 weeks, you're not eating these foods, you're not triggering yourself there, then guess what? You won't be triggering yourself with supplements yet, because you're not taking any supplements if you're doing this right. So ideally, you stop triggering yourself through the foods. You don't take any supplements during that time, so you could truly see how your foods are causing your symptoms or how they're reacting with your body. Once you do that, you got to go ahead and see how many symptoms are left. Am I still reacting to tons of things? Am I having issues? If not, you just made tons of progress with the diet, which is what I do with a lot of clients. They get over the hump just strictly with diet. But then if not, you got to look at the nervous system, okay? The nervous system. You got to start doing slow, deep breathing, nervous system retraining, trauma release exercises, things like that. Putting a good 30 minutes to an hour into the deep breathing, into the meditation, into the mindfulness, the stretching, the release of this tension in the body, time out in nature, walks, things like that. These things are all extremely critical for restructuring the nervous system. Also, getting rid of the fears, the perceived dangers about your circumstances. Stop and looking ahead so much, being in the present moment. All these things are critical when you're trying to restabilize the nervous system. The last part you want to look at, if you still have symptoms after getting rid of the irritants, restabilizing the nervous system for a few months, being consistent on a daily basis with your meditation, your breathing activities, if you still have symptoms afterwards, then you want to look into the environment. It could be mycotoxins, could be mold, could be an environment that's causing your symptoms to flare up. This is what I've seen over and over and over again with clients. This is really my area of expertise, because I went through it myself and then went through it with my daughter. So it's always going to be what we're consuming, what we're inhaling, what we're thinking or doing. These things are contributing to our symptoms. If we're still having issues after addressing all those things, it's very unlikely. But if you do, then let's go ahead and replace key minerals. Let's go ahead and get you some prebiotics. Let's get some binders to get rid of some of these toxins. Let's go ahead and restabilize the nervous system with some, neural things to block neurological inflammation, to target the NF-κB pathway, etc. This is what I do. This is what I've seen be effective. So if you have questions, reach out to me. My website is endsickness.org. I got hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos on there teaching you how to heal yourself. Have a good one.